Hello everyone, I am Jitendra Singh. Welcome you to Read My Story, where I interview authors, speakers, coaches, celebrities, entrepreneurs and more. Today I have with me Miss Valarie Naidoo. She is the CEO of Wallstreet Coaching and the founder of the wireless female network Global Movement. She is the first of her generation to leave South Africa to take up global citizenship on 3 different continents and 4 different countries. Her career experience ranges from project management to human resource, launching startups and coaching and development businesses. Valerie is a multiple international bestseller author. She has written Under Attack Expat UAE, From the Ballroom to the Boardroom, Digital Ping, Women Mastering the Art of Disruption, and co-authored 2017 Inspirational Almanac, The Birth of Light, Conscious Creators, Volume 3, Journey of Persephone. Finally, Valerie has partnered with few international alliances to bring to the world the very first period of poverty. Today, she will be discussing with us about her life journey. So let us hear from her. Welcome, Valerie. The platform is open, and now over to you.
Thank you so much for such a beautiful introduction, and I'm really honored and privileged to be here on this podcast and to be interviewed by you.
Thank you, Valerie, and the privilege is ours. So first thing I'd like to know from you is how did your past life has affected the person who you are and what you wanted to be in your life?
That's actually a very good question, Jitan. So growing up as a child, my childhood, as far as I can remember, had a lot of adventure and funful moments. And I remember the elders in our family always encouraging get-togethers, always encouraging weekends together, always guiding us and, pushing us to be better. With that, I also remember the discipline of my father. My dad is late now, but one of his wishes and my mother's wish as well for me was to, when I matriculated, they actually wanted me to see the world. They had encouraged me and pushed me and motivated me. And I think hence that is one of the reasons why I felt so blessed when I left South Africa at a very tender age. I felt very blessed because I had the blessing from both of my parents to go out into the big world and to see the world and, learn about other cultures, learn about different people and just absorb as much as I could. So, all of that stemmed from my upbringing. And so I'm very, very thankful and grateful for that too. So
Wonderful.
where I am today in terms of the field that I've chosen with coaching and development and, the startup of the NPC, I think for me, the foundation was set from the time I was little.
Wow, that's so great. So if I talk about the things you are passionate in your life, what are those things?
There are quite a few things that I am passionate about. I love fashion.
Oh, wow.
I'm very passionate about that. I can take like 2 pieces of a garment and I can pair it together and something that someone has seen in the shop, but when I have to pair it together, people go like, wow, where is it from? So I am creative. I am creative that way as well. I'm also very, on a serious note, I'm very passionate about progressing people, specifically women.
Right.
I'm passionate about encouraging women to step out of their comfort zones. And I say this because when I grew up, I wouldn't say we were poverty stricken, but we were not rich,
Right.
In fact, we were just a little bit under middle class. So I always feel that, if you set the intention that you want to better your life, you can and you will do it. So I'm passionate about recognizing that in women and encouraging them to do that, regardless of whatever field a woman is in. I would encourage her to give off her best, and these are the
Right.
things that I'm most passionate about. Yeah.
That is really wonderful. And I also feel in the same lines that women should have all the rights and all the privileges to do whatever they want to do in their life.
Yeah.
That's so great. So if I talk talk about your work and experiences, like what all you did in your life so far, how you started, how you got into training and development and other social activities as well, and how your entrepreneurial journey started, and also some things related to your writing career as well. Like you have done so many things. I want you to share everything in a nutshell.
I think the training journey started for me when I lived in the UK. I was very privileged to be part of that team that migrated call centers across to the subcontinent in India. And I do remember one of the very first opportunities, even though me going there as part of the project team was not intended to be training, but I had to because one of the trainers were not able to due to becoming ill. And here I was, rolling out product information and systems training to a floor of 80 people. And that's where it all began for me. The turnaround, the results, after a couple of weeks were phenomenal.
Wow.
And I enjoyed it so much. However, when I came to South Africa, over the last few years, the training career really started for me. So to date, I do practice as a life coach.
Okay, great.
Yes, I work a lot with women and with youth. I also do a lot of work in schools. Menstrual health is a big part of my journey. Hence, I launched the NPC called Wireless Female Network. So, Jiten, it was the year 2018. The organization that I worked for gave me an opportunity to see just how ill-equipped women were when it came to getting the top-end paying jobs. And the main reason behind this was due to a lack of computer. And I wanted to do something about it, ICT, at a women's shelter in South Africa. And, as fate would have it, it was during that very first visit that I noticed another big problem, namely period poverty. So that's how it all started for me.
Okay, great. So that was related to your work as an trainer, and then your work as an social work you started to work in your country. And apart from that, you also wrote so many books, like how you got inspiration to write them. That was also I'm curious to know.
So as a child, my brothers and I, and also some of my cousins, we were so into drama and acting. I do remember we used to write out these plays and, mini plays, and we used to, roll out this acting for the adults, and we loved singing. The writing part I really enjoyed, and I noticed that as an adult, when it came to writing anything, it just came so naturally to me. And when I lived in Dubai, one of the things I wanted to do was to get a book published. And even though I was not able to do it while I was living there, when I returned to South Africa in 2014, I released my very first book called Under Attack Expat, UAE, and from there it was just the beginning for me, because that led to me writing other books, partnering with other authors, blogging, which I absolutely enjoy. So writing for me is something that comes, if I want to relax, I would pick up a pen, or I would log on to my computer and I would start writing. It is so therapeutic. Wow. So for me, writing does come naturally, and I find that when it comes to content, as long as I have the space to do it, I can create content about absolutely anything. And so for me, I just want to get to the next level as well. I have partnered with the authors, and I am a multiple international best-selling author, and I am really truly grateful for that. So when I say the next level, I want to start teaching other budding authors. I want to show them the ropes. It's something that I really want to do.
Great. So you already working on your so many things, writing, social service, then your training and development programs, and you are also as an entrepreneur, you are working on other projects as well. So how you manage your time, or how you got your time to manage all those things?
When you really want to do something, you will find the time in the day. And whether you have a full-time job, whether you have a family, to look after, whether you're running an NPC or a full-time business, but if you want to do something, you will find half an hour in the day to do that. So it boils down to being disciplined. And for me, if I really want to do something, I will do it. I just do it. The saying Nike, just do it. Yes,
Just
so
wait.
I think I live by that.
Great. So, if I talk about your vision, mission, and goal in life for next 5 to 10 years from now, what do you think it should be?
For me, it would be to build a research center that will be focusing on improving the health of women, namely menstrual health. So my goal for the next 8 years would be in alignment with the Sustainable Development Goal and the 2030 vision. My goal is to enable 2.5 million by the time we reach 2030.
Wow,
And
that is wonderful.
yeah.
Aspiring to great.
Thank you.
So, any more thing you'd like to add, like apart from this thing? Like you were talking about some other issues as well, which you want to work.
Right. So, Jiten, if you look at the topic of period poverty, the research that we've undertaken so far actually shows us that it has a direct link to generational poverty. So, for example, if you look at the daughter who's missing school because she's not able to afford sanitary product,
Right.
and then if it obviously negatively impacts her education because she's going to be missing out on school, right? And if you look at it on average on the African continent, we have an average, we have girls staying away on an average of 5 days per month. And that actually equates to 60 days per year.
Right.
And of course, negatively impact her performance in school, which means that by the time this girl gets, to grade 12, it's going to be difficult for her to even get a bursary to think about studying further. And that means that when she finishes her schooling career, she has to settle for a job as opposed to pursuing something that she can be really good at. And, once you qualify, you get a job in your field and you increase your earning potential. So when we look at that, we then look at the mother of that girl, and the mother had a similar history. We look at the grandmother as well.
Correct.
And the patterns, it's so amazing. The patterns are so similar. So our research is actually focusing around that at the moment. And
Right.
more importantly, we are looking to bring in sustainable solutions.
Correct. And this problem lies not only in South Africa, but this is a global phenomena where you find poverty, you would find these kind of issues, problems. And India again is like having these issues so like prevalent when you go to a small town or a small village where poverty is very high. These are common issues.
That's so true. Regardless of the country one lives in, for example, when over the last 2 years is a very good example. If you look at China is a country that does well. If you look at South Korea, the country has a lot of money. Economically, they do very well. However, the lockdown, level 5 lockdown, had impacted the economy globally. So even there, women who used to spend and be able to spend freely,
Right.
on sanitary products, even there too, they had to cut down because poverty had actually reached all parts of the globe.
Correct. And that was one of the impact on women's health.
Absolutely.
So, like if I talk about the most important life lessons you have learned from your personal and professional journey so far, what are those things you can share with us?
So for me, one of the most important things is that, you can plan something to the T. However, sometimes if something is not meant to be, it's just not meant to be and it would not happen. But also from that, you shouldn't become sad and you shouldn't even be too hard on yourself. You need to accept that, obviously whatever happens there's always lessons. You got to take the good from it and walk
Correct.
away with the good. Yes.
Correct.
Well, that's what I've learned so far.
That is really wonderful. So, if I talk about the thing which you highlighted, in your discussion so far, which you are working on with women and their health issues, especially menstrual health, what are these issues revolving around with this problem? Common issues revolving with this problem, like health and other, like as you highlighted just now, that they are missing their school, their qualification, their education, and they also face these kind of challenges there in their work environment as well. That is one aspect. Health aspect is another one. Third is family aspect. So what are those common issues you find everywhere prevalent, and how to address them, how to find solutions to them?
Okay, so the population that we're currently working with is marginalized women from the rural communities. We look at homeless women as well. So what this means for a homeless woman is that, buying a sanitary product is obviously the last concern or priority on
Correct.
her
Correct.
mind. So what tends to happen is that they are using methods which are not hygienic, when they are menstruating, which is not good for the health. And this leads to long-term illness. It can negatively impact the reproductive organs. Aside from that, what it does to the mindset of that individual, when all you ever accustomed to is poverty, and even
Right.
when something that is so personal like menstruation, you cannot take care of that, it does tend to affect the person, and that leads to a person becoming very sad, and over a period of time, these sad feelings start to embed within the mind, and it leads to mental health issues, unfortunately.
Correct.
Yeah.
So this is also one aspect of it.
Yeah.
Right. And two more things are there, like education, work, that also suffers, family suffers. These are common things. And apart from this, like we see this thing to be a taboo, as most people are not feeling comfortable talking about such issues. And why we need to address these issues in open forum, so that people can be more comfortable these issues and take them on another level, so that we can create an environment wherein these things should look like normal to people, and they would help each other in a way that women does not suffer more further. So how can we address all these such issues?
Okay, so period poverty is a global issue, not just a female issue.
Right.
Okay, menstruation is as natural as a woman giving birth. A birth of a child is so celebrated by everybody. However, menstruation is something that is shunned, and it's a very much taboo topic, regardless of where you live in this world.
Right.
Whether it's Dubai, whether it's North America, whether it's South Africa or Guatemala, these taboos do exist at different levels.
Correct.
So the idea is to normalize menstruation, normalize the period, meaning that people do need to start to feel comfortable about talking about it. We as women, even we use coded languages, and this further perpetuates the stigma surrounding menstrual health.
Correct.
Even as a woman, I can tell you it's not a popular topic, with myself and another woman. It's not something we would talk about over coffee, but yet, it's something that we want to break the glass ceiling. We want to shatter the glass ceiling in menstrual health. We want to bring down those barriers that are preventing women, from reaching their full potential. Because as we've discussed, the more you shun this topic, we know that yes, it does affect a woman who's working, when she's menstruating. Sometimes, you're not able to concentrate. If you're not eating the correct food, your diet is really important, and if you don't have access to the correct food, yes, it's going to negatively impact your health. So, in the office, someone might say, this woman is not feeling too good, but would they even stop to ask her what it is? If they do, is she even going to tell the truth, or is she going to be embarrassed?
Correct.
So these are the things we need to start changing, not just as women, but collectively. So at the Wireless Female Network, our goal is to get many people to join us. There are many small organizations who are very passionate about championing the end of period poverty. So the idea for us is to get these passionate people and passionate champions to join us to lead in these conversations confidently.
Correct.
And what we're doing about it, we have created a program called Pathways to Dignity. There are many schools here in South Africa that have adopted these programs, which is rolled out not only to the girls who are as young as 11 years old, but to the boys as well.
Acceptability should be there from their side as well, like from the people who are around, not only the women.
Absolutely, yeah. So we have been making these resources available, to all, to both genders, across different generations, because how do we expect the males to support it if we don't have the resources available?
Correct.
How do we expect them to support it if we ourselves are not attending to these programs, to the needs
Correct.
as well
Correct.
of other women? Yeah.
Correct. One thing is like acceptability, that people should understand that this is common and this is happening with every woman. First thing. Second thing, awareness about the issue. Like what are the consequences? What are the problems there? What are the kind of mental and health issues women face due to this? That is kind of awareness needs to be created, and that should be created among not only women but also men too, because they are also not very vocal about such issues. They are also not aware of such issues, and the kind of shyness and the thing which is around the topic should be removed, and people should be more open and acceptable to the change, to the understanding, to the support, and they should take it in a next level, next way. That is kind of a thing which will help to create equality in terms of like having right to health, good health, as well as right to work, education, and everything that will be there once we understand these issues and start to address them in a proper way. That will help us to be stronger and more together, close among all. So this is really important to highlight these issues and create an acceptability and awareness. That is a wonderful thing you are working on, and there are so many organizations as well. They are working on such issues in India, South Africa, and other countries as well. So coming back to you again, so are you an introvert or an extrovert while facing your audience, or while raising such issues in the open forum?
By nature, actually, you're going to get very surprised by this. I'm actually an ambivert, and when it comes to menstrual health, because I'm very passionate about it, I'm an extrovert. However, sometimes with certain things, I tend to be a little bit closed about it. I wouldn't say shy, but I do take the back seat. So in that sense, I am an ambivert. But with what I work on very closely, empowering women, uplifting women when it comes to health issues, health and wellness, I'm totally an extrovert in that field.
That is really wonderful, and I was expecting same kind of answer from your side. So moving on to the next one, like you've been working on so many things and so many projects, and the support is really important when you are working on something. And who all were like your support? Who all supported you in your journey so far the most?
In my journey, as I was growing up, my biggest support, Jiten, to date is my family, my parents, my brothers. As I was growing up, they've been my pillar of strength, my uncles, my aunties, cousins. And now that I'm married, my husband is absolutely great in terms of supporting me and making sure, that I am channeling my energies in the most useful way. My in-laws are my biggest fans. And with that support, of course, you will always get people in the world who might not agree with everything you do. And I'm okay with that.
Agree.
Yes, I don't expect everyone to champion what I'm doing or to be happy about it or to even agree with it. And I'm actually okay with that.
Correct. You would always have some people supporting you, some not supporting you, some are against with you. So that happens. That is absolutely fine. The most important thing is the kind of support you get. And these people are your pillars, and they are the real strength behind you. And that is really amazing. So if I talk about the motivation and inspiration in your life, so how you get that?
Inspiration for me comes from a few different sources. So for example, if I see someone who's able to lift themselves up from a negative situation, for me that is inspiration. If I see someone who's able to achieve their goals against all odds against them, for me that is inspiration. But my greatest source of inspiration comes from my Creator. No matter how challenging, spending time alone in the presence of my Creator, meditating and praying actually does inspire me and does uplift me. My family, my husband, my mom, my brothers, and my close circle of influence are also most inspirational to me because they're not afraid to tell me, when I have messed up or when something, hasn't really worked out for me. And I do appreciate that constructive constructive criticism, and that keeps me motivated daily.
Correct. And that is really helpful often. So, if I ask about your take on success, what do you think success look like to you?
Success means different things to different people. So for me, being able to firstly identify with your life's purpose and aligning that with your current reality gives me the greatest amount of joy. It also means that I'm able to live a balanced life, and that sums up success for me.
That's really wonderful. And I think you clearly mentioned what success really look like and how we should be aligned to success. That again is a wonderful thing, wonderful thought too. So if I ask you any message, advice you would like to make to our audience, viewers and listeners, what would be that?
Live your life authentically, keep it real. And yes, many times people will do things, for the sake of doing things as a tick box exercise or to impress the crowd. But the moment you start living an authentic life and your purpose is authentic to you, you will find that everything starts coming to you in the right way at the right time.
That's so wonderful. So I must say the discussion we had was really wonderful. We have touched on the very crucial topic, which is women's health, and that too the topic which is considered to be the taboo, menstrual health of women, and the issues related to that, and the kind of impact that is creating on their mental, physical health, as well as their education, their work, their family as well. So that was a most important thing people should understand and take in a right and positive way, and find solution in and around them. That is so really important, and creating awareness and acceptability is also one important issues which we see that is missing. We should work on that as well. So wonderful, amazing insights you have shared about all those issues, and it was really amazing to hear you on the issue, and I really enjoyed our conversation. Looking forward to hear more from you soon again. Thank you so much for your time, Valerie. It was wonderful to have you on our platform, and also I would share your social media links so that people can be in touch with you, take your help, guidance on various issues, as well as they can attend your programs as well and see your books, which are really wonderful. So many learnings there from your life lessons. So that is again a thing which I really cherish to learn from. Books are really wonderful. So I'll share the link of your books as well. So guys, don't forget to check that out too. Thank you so very much everyone for watching and listening. I hope you all must have gathered a lot of valuable information and insight and enjoyed watching it. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Have a good time. Thank you and bye bye.